every one of you, if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and I make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. I want you to listen. What are those three things? Fear, envy, distrust. For what purpose? Control. To control who? The slave. Who is the slave? Us. Listen. He said, these methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and they will work throughout the South. Now, take this simple little list and think about it. On the top of my list is age, but it's only there because it starts with an A, and the second is color or shade. There's intelligence, sex, size of plantation, status of plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley or on a hill, north, east, south, or west, have fine hair or coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry it on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. Now don't forget, you must pitch the old black male against the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the female against the male, and you must use the male against the female. You must use the dark-skinned slave against the light-skinned slave, and the light-skinned slave against the dark-skinned slave. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, but it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these keys are your keys to control. Use them. Never miss an opportunity. And if used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. End of quote. So spoke Willie Lynch 283 years ago. And so as a consequence, we as a people now have been fractured, divided, and destroyed, filled with fear, distrust, and envy. Therefore, because of fear, envy, and distrust of one another, many of us as leaders, teachers, educators, pastors, and persons are still under the control mechanism of our former slave masters and their children. And now, in spite of all that division, in spite of all that divisiveness, we responded to a call. And look at what is present here today. We have here those brothers with means and those who have no means, those who are light and those who are dark, those who are educated, those who are uneducated, those who are business people, those who don't know anything about business, those who are young, those who are old, those who are scientific, those who know nothing of science, those who are religious and those who are irreligious, those who are Christian, those who are Muslim, those who are Baptist, those who are Methodist, those who are Episcopalian, those of traditional African religions. We got them all here today.
Go ahead, brother.
And why did we come? We came because we want to move perfect union. And if you notice, the press triggered every one of those divisions. You You shouldn't come, you're a Christian, that's a Muslim thing. You shouldn't come, you're too intelligent to follow hate. You shouldn't come. Look at what they did. They excluded women, you see. They played all the cards. They pulled all the strings. Oh, but you better look again, Willie. There's a new black man in America today. A new black woman in America today. Now, brothers, there's a social benefit of our gathering here today.
Greetings, listeners. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is but one God. Welcome to the Black Agenda here on the Street 919 FM. I am Brother David Muhammad, and I'm going to be in studio with you up to 9 o'clock this morning. And in a short while from now, I will open up the telephone lines and take your calls on 342-0081 and 466-5391. You can also send WhatsApp messages and text messages directly to me on 332-0214. And we're also streaming live on the Facebook page and YouTube channel of the Street 919 FM. So, my beloved people, another week in Trinidad and Tobago, and I guess globally we're seeing the slow but steady and sure adjustments and readjustments back into what is being referred to as normal or a new normal, places opening back up and restrictions being loosened, and signs of hope. We've always been saying from day one that we will survive this. And we will survive it not because of some of the measures that are being put in place, but we will survive it in spite of. Because we survive everything. The resilience that we possess as a people has punctuated history with greatness. That which African people have endured from since the beginning of recorded time has shown to the world what humanity is capable of accomplishing. We have demonstrated that. And of course, this is yet another chapter in that book. So, speaking of history, of course, November in Trinidad and Tobago is Black History Month. And so, we are in the mode celebrating Black History Month or African History Month. Last week, Saturday, we had our 9th African Expo at the Kwame Ture Center, and number 10 is coming up soon on Saturday, November 27th. And then we intend to have another one in December, in the season of Kwanzaa. And then we intend to do some upgrade works at the Kwame Ture Center for the first half of the month of January, and I'm speaking about tiling the floor of the main auditorium everywhere else outside of the main auditorium is tiled. Our auditorium has about a 700 to 800 person capacity. But in opening the center in May 2018, of course we wanted to tile the whole thing back then, but we decided to put a covering on the floor that is, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. It's a terrazzo paint. So it's a paint covering that is put on surfaces of floors that gives it the finish of a terrazzo. So it's like a light gray, and there are these terrazzo bits that are inside the paint, and very nice appearance. But with the extremely heavy people traffic that we have had on that floor, it has dug up major parts of it, especially the middle, and especially where we host our lessons, our free lessons program. And we would have covered it, patched it up a couple times. Well, over the last 3 years, maybe we would have patched it up about at least once a year, maybe 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years. But that is a hopeless situation, beloved. So we have to tile it, and the main auditorium will be out of use for about 2 weeks. We'll be using the conference room mainly, and we ask for your assistance in that. Of course, everything we do, we raise the funds ourselves, and we're grateful to everyone who has contributed in any way whatsoever. But this is the next phase. This is the next step. All right, it's going to take a little while because it's almost 6,000 square feet. But we have to do this. We have to. Because if you see the floor right now for the African Expos, for the classes, everything, it's pretty jagged up. Also, let me say, because Nation of Islam worldwide, we had a couple global meetings, and it has been decided from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that all of our Sunday meetings, all across the world, shall be reopening on Sunday, November 14th. So that's not this Sunday, that's next week Sunday. This is our main Sunday religious meeting, the weekly Nation of Islam presentation, which I conduct Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock at the Kwame Ture Center. And of course, so we are opening back up after a year and a half. Of course, we've continued with Juma outside of the lockdown on Fridays. So we've always had the Juma on the Fridays, but we are, for the first time in 18 months, we are opening back our Sunday Nation of Islam meetings at the Kwame Ture Center. And the last Sunday meeting we would have been, if I'm not mistaken, March the 8th, 2020. March the 8th. Think about that. And so not this Sunday, but next week Sunday, we're opening back up. Of course, we will be at 25% capacity, which is still an ample number considering the size of our auditorium. We won't be using the conference room. We'll be using the main auditorium, where we'll be much better able to space out, social distance, and manage our people. All right, so that's next week Sunday. Looking forward to that very, very much. It's a pity, though, that bars and rum shops and places where people go to drink and get drunk are 50% capacity, but religious institutions are 25% capacity. Well, I guess that's the logic of Western capitalism. But that is how we roll. And as Muslims, we are taught that we must cooperate with and obey the law of the land. As Muslims, we are taught that we must cooperate with and obey the law of the land for as long as it does not conflict with our religion. For as long as what the state says in its constitution does not challenge or conflict with Allah's law in the Holy Quran, then we cooperate fully. Yes, we know that the society encourages the consumption of alcohol and objectification of the woman and gambling casinos. We know that the state gives favorable leeway to these kinds of agencies. But once they don't make it a law for us to participate in that, so we withdraw from that because that doesn't coincide with our beliefs. We won't stop you from doing it, or we won't try to force anyone else to practice our religion because we believe it and you don't. No. So we cooperate with the state unless there is conflict with our religion. So, African History Month. November in Trinidad and Tobago. And African History Month was established in Trinidad by three great black women. Sister Patricia McLeod, who was the wife of great African businessman I.T. McLeod. Sister Asha Cambon, wife of Brother Kafra Cambon of the Emancipation Support Committee. And another brilliant sister by the name of Maureen Thompson. Maureen Thompson is a researcher, journalist, publicist who has uncovered some of the most amazing research on black business in Trinidad and Tobago. She has gone the lengths of highlighting so much of what we would have missed and identifying patterns in progress of black business. Of course, in this being Black History Month, we don't just believe that history should be taught, but that history has to also be connected with black economics. And that when we learn black history, we have to connect it with the ideology to support black business. See, in truth and in fact, our enemies want us to just temporarily indulge ourselves with learning great stories of the past, but not allowing it to inspire us in the present, and in particular our children. So Black History Month is not just for the past, it's also for the present and the future. And so these three great black women determined that the traditional Black History Month in America, which is February, contained too many distractions in Trinidad, especially with the carnival season. So November was proposed, especially as it is a full month where the schools are open and it provides numerous teaching opportunities to our children to learn some of their great black history. I would have shared over the years quite a bit of what Sister Maureen Thompson would have highlighted. In 2008, she published a document entitled Africans in Business in Trinidad and Tobago. And she looked at how non-African businesses get preference under our African-based governments. We already know that when there's an Indian-based government in office, that the Indian community and the Indian businesses would prosper. In light of that, I say, happy Black History Month, salutations of Black History Month, acknowledgements of Black History Month to all my African brothers and sisters, and by extension to all of Trinidad and Tobago. But I saw so many African people all throughout yesterday putting up on their Facebook page, on their Twitter, on their YouTube, on their Instagram, on their TikTok, on their Snap, on their WhatsApp, Happy Diwali. And that's fine. That is fine. But to all the African people who are saying Happy Diwali and then saying there's no need for Black History Month, we have to recalibrate our consciousness, beloved. It's like in some sectors we have more people saying Happy Halloween than Happy African Liberation Day. It's like our minds have been taken. And I saw someone put up a meme, can't remember who it was, but I wanted to acknowledge them. Someone put up a meme and said, same black people in Trinidad who want to downcry and degrade Obia, at the same time want to celebrate Halloween, which was less than a week ago. So you don't like Obia, or what you think Obia is. You're afraid of Obia. You want to denigrate Obia. But you run in to celebrate Halloween and putting on all kind of Dracula teeth and fake blood coming out of your mouth and makeup under your eyes. Are you crazy? So the person who put up the meme and said, well, black people rushing to celebrate Halloween, but they're afraid of Obia. He said, nah, we can't have that, man. Support local. Support local. Man. It reminds me of when that horrific incident with Boko Haram took place in Nigeria, where it is said that 2,000 people were killed in a mass killing, a mass burning. 2,000 people killed in Nigeria. But in the same week, 12 people were killed in France. And beloved, you try to figure this one out. 2,000 people killed in Nigeria in the Boko Haram issue. 12 people killed in France. Same week. But 40 world leaders. Did they go to Nigeria to give cover? No, they went to France. 40 world leaders gathered in France and marched together. I could tell you one prime minister that I doubt would have been in that is that sister from Barbados, Prime Minister Mia Mottley, once again made Caribbean people tremendously proud with her strength, speaking truth to power. And remember, these aren't just flash in the pan moments for that sister, because it was exactly 2 months ago, for the first ever Africa CARICOM summit, that our sister proposed direct flights between Africa and the Caribbean, dual citizenship for African people in the Caribbean, with the African continent. Removal of any kind of visa restrictions or requirements for people in the Caribbean, for Africa. Imagine the Europeans kidnapped us, took us out of Africa, and now in order for us to go back to Africa, we have to take a flight to Europe. And then from Europe, then go to Africa. That's insane. And even before that, you know, our sister speaking on reparations for African people as the sitting Prime Minister of Barbados. Now, our sister Maureen Thompson, you know, she highlighted in her document, Africans in Business in Trinidad and Tobago. She has some really incredible information. Really incredible information. And, you know, our links with her go way back, you know, to Minister Farrakhan's first visit to Trinidad in second visit to Trinidad in 1996. But in her paper on Africans in Business, and this is something, unfortunately, that many of us have come to accept, that we are African people. We have Africans in government whom we love and we support, but at the same time, we feel comfortable watching others becoming empowered in a way that we are not given those same opportunities. We feel comfortable and committed to preference to other ethnic groups that we do not get. And it's always been like this. It's like the culture of our society, only because we accept it. So Sister Maureen Thompson, she ran a list, say Ram Kirpalani, and you would remember the Kirpalani stores. Kirpalani owed well over $250 million in bad debt and nearly crashed Republic Bank. He was forgiven. Lucky Samaru flopped at least 2 or 3 local airlines, owing First Citizens Bank over $150 million, which he never paid back. Dr. Lenny Saith was pardoned personally by Prime Minister Patrick Manning of $25 million that he owed the state. Mutilal Munan confessed that he owed the banks in Trinidad $63 million in bad debts that were not paid. AVM TV owner Dale Colasing left a debt of $25 million at his untimely death several years ago. And Mohan Jaikaran, so-called mogul and owner of Win TV, died a few years ago and left a debt of $60 million. Now, look at all these hundreds of millions of dollars in debt that are either forgiven, excused, forgotten about. But just a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the 1990 coup, where you have a little fridge or stove or furniture set or television in your home. The soldiers came and kicked down your door and took it if you didn't have a receipt for it. And they have, you owe them or some other appliance store or furniture store couple payments, you miss a couple payments, they're coming to your doorstep. I'm tempted to tell you something that Minister Farrakhan told us about that years ago. All right, let me share this with you. Minister Farrakhan speaking to a small circle years ago. He was talking about when he was a young father in his 20s and how going through the manhood training of the Nation of Islam, he was taught how to be a man. And a man, according to the Holy Quran, is a provider, a protector, a maintainer. And that he said we need to refrain from being in debt. Because when someone comes to take something away from you that you were working to earn or own, see, that's a challenge. I'm not saying it exactly how he said it at all, but he said that's a challenge. And that is putting you on the spot, beloved. I'll leave that there. Arthur Lockjack, Philip Hamill Smith, and Norman Tang had put up no personal guarantees, yet they were given loans for the Carlton Savannah Hotel in Port of Spain amounting to $347 million. And according to a report, issue 84, Friday, December 26, 2014, it was never challenged in court, and these loans were written off, never repaid to First Citizens Bank. Same First Citizens Bank had money extracted from them, $10 million in a gift to a former UNC Minister of Finance. This is a pattern. Something about millions of dollars and just giving it to whites and Chinese and Syrians, especially Syrians and East Indians. Something about that rests kind of comfortably with us African people. And if there's one thing that we could say as a community, that we have worked tremendously hard for everything that we have. Every black man with wealth in this country, they have worked and worked and worked. In many instances, worked twice as hard to get half as much. And even though there are a lot of Syrian businessmen in this country, a lot of white businessmen in this country, yes, they've worked hard as well. Yes, they've made their sacrifices also. But the kind of government support that they get, this government, that government, the last government, the next government, the government before, the kind of support, I'm talking about full scale, maximum support in all of their main business ventures. It's something that we don't get at all. And I don't mean to put our brother on the spot, but if you ever hear the story of Trevor Lynch, arguably Trinidad and Tobago's most successful black businessman, Mr. Trevor Lynch of Hydrotech. If you listen to his story, wow. honestly, his story might make you cry. Because today he is mega successful. Mega successful. And he's also a major, big time political party supporter. But he has never, not even once, not even 10 cents benefited from government support. Trevor Lynch. That man, he started off as an employee in the energy sector and worked his way through him getting knowledge, him getting information, him making risky investments, starting off buying small properties, then bit by bit by bit, just growing and expanding. And he has given so much to support politics. But never received any support. And it's like a normal with us. So I want to emphasize a key objective of Black History Month is to, yes, let our children know that African people were the first people on this planet. Yes, that African people built the pyramids. Yes, African people established the first towns and villages and cities on earth. We created mathematics, science, art, philosophy, music. We built the first colleges and universities and libraries in the world. Yes, African people did all of these great things, but let's connect it with today. Let us streamline that same inspiration to our youth of today to inspire them. All right, so let me open up the telephone lines. So today is November the 6th. We're 6 days into African History Month in Trinidad. November. So our numbers are 342-0081 and 466-5391. Let's see if we're connected. Caller, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Hakim Mohammed. My brother. How are you?
Caller?
Yes. Are you hearing me?
No, I'm not hearing you at all.
Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. I said assalamu alaikum.
Wait. Something's wrong here.
But I am hearing you.
It looks like the sound is in one channel.
I am hearing you. You hearing me?
Okay, no, I don't think you're coming through clearly at all, but go ahead.
But I am hearing you clearly.
Yeah, I know, but go on.
I'm hearing myself clearly. I want to apologize for not being able to attend Saturday gone. But it was beyond my control. I tried everything to be there. But at half past two, I was in Port of Spain with somebody. And I said, I'm going to get out, but I couldn't make it. So I had to apologize for that. There are so many things to talk about, but I'll hit little pieces. I want to support the brother Ferguson with the steel scrap here. I want to support him, you understand, in his drive to get them to do what is right and give him the right. That fella started with nothing. When nobody else in this country, you understand, wanted that kind of work. He did it and built it the way it is today. You understand? And today, you understand, the big boys and them see the money involved in it. They want to take it and get rid of him. And this government, you understand, which is a black government, not giving any support to a black man in that struggle. Just like Abigail, they give no support and allow, you understand, another Indian girl who did worse than her to be adopted today. I want to say also that there be Ghana is having a soca explosion coming up, Brother David. For a 6 days run, I was here on TV yesterday, for 6 days. And then they're taking soca going across the other countries in Africa. Brother David, I want to bet anybody something today that 90 or 95% of the people who are dying from comorbidities in this sickness are African people. I want to bet anybody that if they bring out these statistics and show the group that are dying, 90 to 95% of our people, we're eating bad, we're not listening. North America has 3 million something, 300 million people. And we have more diabetic here than North America and hypertension. Our people wouldn't listen. They're going on the street. You see them yesterday. From 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a police line up there to keep them in order. Flour, oil, grease. They're packing it in the system, and that's what licking them up. And you can't tell them that. So imagine on a Sunday morning, you see women and men line up to buy bad food to carry home to eat. Oh, something is wrong with us. Another thing is that you see my children, when my children were small, you see African History Month. Every Sunday, they'd have been in front of that television to learn their history. They'd say all kind of negative things about the Emancipation Support Committee. But they don't talk about every November month, the history that they put forward with the school educational history, you understand, to the young people. They don't talk about that. They always say, what Emancipation Support doing, what Kafra Campbell, over 40, 50 years, Kafra Campbell and them give to their life to this country. Imam, you understand, give to their life to this country. And our people still not learning, not listening, you understand? Everybody's still listening. Watch them, you understand, how they dress up in other people's cultural clothes. And when it comes to emancipation, they say about a little top piece, a little bottom piece. And not knowing there are no other cultural clothes in this world that are more majestic than the African clothes. Every African has put on a piece of clothes, male and female. They look like kings and queens because that is who we are. Let your children know we are the first. The African woman is the first woman on this planet Earth. Everybody else came after us. We give the world everything they have. Watch in this country. Do you know there was a time in this country that there was a law against the California market? There was a law against that. They put a law against everything that we become creative with. The DSS, they come to mash it up, you understand? What they do? They take it out of control of every idea that we have. We are the creative people. Others will teach the ideas, you understand? But we are creative. And they always come and they put laws, and then they come after and they take it and they go on with it, you understand? Our people have to learn. They have to open their eyes. They have to educate themselves. Education is important. Search and find, seek knowledge, you understand? And that book that they give us, you understand? You know why I put that book as? When I think of that show, so let's see what's going on. BEEP. They baptize you. They educate you. They enslave you, and then they bury you. That book, you understand, they give us. And everybody is coming and using that book to make money off of us, and you can't see education. But David, have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you.
Brother David, just now, before I go, imagine food is coming from thousands of miles across the other side of the world to feed us here. Food that we are accustomed going from small and eating here, you stop with it and somebody bringing that food to kill you with what kind of chemical in it. Have a good day, my brother. Reach home safe.
All right, thank you very much. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
All right. Were you hearing the last? Yeah, I'm hearing you. Were you hearing the last caller clearly?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
All right. This is blessing on to you, David Mohammed, and blessing on to all the African people in Trinidad and Tobago, the wider world, the Caribbean. I was listening to your program this morning concerning the Prime Minister of Barbados.
Yes.
And she was speaking on behalf of the Barbados people.
And the whole Caribbean.
And, right. Concerning the banks in Barbados.
Yes.
Concerning the citizens of Barbados, where the banks is taking advantage of their money in the banks. And a lot of taxes is added on to the people of Barbados. Sometimes the accounts go empty, close off. Same thing is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. But listen to this. The same people in Trinidad and Tobago saying yes, and they're glad for how she has come out and she defend the people of Barbados and all that concerning this. Now, you remember, I think it was about a year or 2 years ago, with Susu in Lohoketa, that black man.
Yep.
You remember that Susu?
Of course.
That Susu was created by that black man to pull African people out of the bank's pocket, you understand, in Trinidad and Tobago. And these same black people in Trinidad and Tobago, you hear them calling the whole of this week here gone to the Prime Minister when he come back for he to address this thing concerning the bank's heavy taxes against the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Now, this Susu this man created was working for black people.
Yep.
The bank actually started to feel it in their pockets. And we have a black leader in Trinidad and Tobago, nicknamed the Susu a drug Susu. They never found this man selling drugs, but the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago nicknamed this Susu and called it a drug Susu.
Well, I don't think he gave it that name.
I think he was the first person mentioned that name.
No, I don't think so at all.
Wasn't him?
No. He would have mentioned
maybe
it.
I must be wrong.
You know, he mentioned it as that, but he's not the person who gave it that name.
Well, okay then. Well, maybe as a Prime Minister, he shouldn't not even say something like that, even if somebody else give it that name. Yeah, as a black man, seeing that a black man is rising up. Yes, and most of these banks is owned by white people, not even from Trinidad and Tobago. And as a black leader, you see a black man is going in that direction, you're supposed to put people now to work with him to see how that can benefit black people. You understand? Now, the people of Trinidad and Tobago join in with the banks and those who was trying to destroy this for black people. And they are saying yes. You understand?
Yeah.
Break it down, lock him up, do this, do that, whatever, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Thanks a lot. There, we have a break coming up, but that was one of the most shameful moments, in my opinion, that we've had. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
They say Georgia them causing plenty bacchanal in the place early Christmas morning. Christmas morning. A man and the wife end up in a fight cause out left and right. The man feels she horning. She horning. He tells she do darling, it's Christmas time. You bring me gift from your heart, I bring from mine. Anything you want, honey, I will spare a dime. Tell me what you want for Christmas. Tell me what you want for Christmas. She said, I want clothes, I want shoes. Don't pick up nothing, honey. I want shoes, I want house, I want land. The man gets some breakfast, say, well, it's best you go and let I will buy that for you. Oh, Christmas morning, I want how your name calling so. And I want that, I want this, and I want that. You bring your ham and sorrel, we bring the shak and quattro. I want this, and I want that. I want this, and I want that. What you want, what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want. Ayo. They say church and them causing plenty pain and suffering early Christmas morning. Christmas morning. People want to know what causing it wrong, whether it is true or a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. The man make up to his wife and apologize. Call and make she breakfast as a surprise. Wifey meet him in the kitchen as soon as she rises. He said like an angel send you. Tell me what you want on the menu. She said, I want hops, I want ham, I want sorrel, I want jam, I want turkey, I want man. The man say I
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized, with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
From the studio to the stage, every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. Right here on the streets, 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars. Right here on the streets, 919 FM.
I'm Shumari Hector. Join me every weekday at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Street 91.9 FM, alongside my co-host, the Queen of Talk, Aisha Wells, as we address the many lies being told from those on the other side. We will be talking the truth and debunking the lies. We are on our way to victory. THA Elections 2021. Don't miss it. And like I say, activate.
It's only Dr. Only, the right choice for TNT.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your home. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited. For the style in you.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monrepos, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
After all the talk during the week, don't switch off on the weekend and keep it on the street. It's classic soca and classic kaiso when you're liming with the live wire on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. only on the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. So there's a need for brotherhood. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Brotherhood is demanded. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Brotherhood is essential, it is urgent, and it is compulsory. But the time demands brotherhood. Whenever the dominant white society fears for its economic future, racial tensions are always aggravated. The aim of Almighty God is to bring the black man and woman together. The aim of Almighty God is that we, no matter how divided we have been in the past, must experience unity in order to gain the success that we seek and the progress that we desire. There is no way that a divided people can build a future. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. So there's a need for brotherhood. But if you walk the earth proud and arrogant, you never learn your lesson because you think you already know. And how the hell could you know and be in the shape that we're in? How can there be any brotherhood if there's not even the honoring of a word? Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. But the Quran and the Bible bear witness that the heavens and the earth were created with truth. Black man stand up, black man you better listen. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood demanded.
Welcome back, and welcome to the second hour of the Black Agenda here on the Street 919 FM. We're going up to 9 o'clock. Now, I want to say something that I've been holding back on for a while. It is recognized today that a major form of poverty is information poverty because knowledge is power. When you possess insight into something and you know about it, it enriches you with the ability to have access to wealth, to control, to capital, to take steps progressively in industry and entrepreneurship. Knowledge is power in a world where we're now traveling on what is referred to as the information superhighway. But with some of the internet problems that we've been having in Trinidad and Tobago across the board from just about all of the service providers, it raises some serious questions about barriers, obstacles, and impediments against accessing knowledge, in particular education and qualifications. Diplomas, certificates, degrees, masters, and PhDs today are being delivered online as a result of having access to the internet and entering into virtual classrooms. The kinds of internet problems that we've been having have been so chronic, so consistent, and it's almost as if the companies have resigned themselves to just telling you when you call in, unplug, plug back in, take out the battery, put the battery back in, switch off, switch back on, wait for 5 minutes. How could they not know that these problems are across the board, and they talk to you as if you are the only person who's having any kind of internet problems? And from teaching students online, I did a couple surveys in my last few classes, and all the service providers in all different areas, just about everywhere across the country, people are experiencing these terrible internet problems. And I think at one time there used to be a Ministry of Consumer Affairs, but now that has been somewhat incorporated into Ministry of Trade, which looks out for the businesses, the merchants, but someone has to look out for the population, the customer, the consumer. And if that continues as it is, with these internet companies getting away with the terrible, poor quality service that they're providing, then we would have really taken a step backward from a third world country to a fourth world country, because that is not acceptable. You can hardly stream anything for an hour straight without it cutting off or reconnecting, and you're seeing the little circles on the screen. It's really, really terrible. And I mean, during this pandemic, clearly you have much more customers, much more clients. So invest something in expanding the volume of how many customers you can serve. It's totally unacceptable. And the mentality from the service providers seems to be, okay, but we're getting away with it. And as long as we can get away with it and the people will still pay, we're good. No, not at all, beloved. That is outrageous. And if you don't pay your bill, man, well, that's it. They're cutting you in a snap. But they could deny you service for however long. So, I mean, it's been quite a few weeks now. I've been wanting to mention something about that. I'm going to say, look, let me talk about what's more important. But if this problem continues, we wouldn't be able to say anything, period. It's getting worse and worse and worse all the time. And now that, I mean, it's not just for leisure. It's not just for Netflix and games and watching music videos on YouTube. It's now education that's at stake. All right, so, I mean, come on. Flow, TSTT, Digicel, Green Dot, whoever else, you have to do better. I heard an explanation from one service provider yesterday, which was basically one company claimed that in their expansion, they have been purchasing old equipment from other companies. But that problem does not apply to some of the other companies that are still having problems, who have brand new equipment. So, I don't know. This one we have to figure out. All right, let's go back to the phones. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning all out there. Is that and so much we have to figure out. It ain't funny. But I tell you, you see all these names you were calling up front there, who owe in the bank and who didn't pay their loans and all of that, and all these big business people. I would put hard work to one of them, and he wasn't in that category anyway, and that is Lynch. Work hard from the bottom up. That is working hard. Not when you afforded all the help from the bank and all the opportunities, and you know exactly who to call and who is calling you to give you jobs. That ain't hard work. But yet, we are being cried down as the worst people out because look who have money now and look who have this and look who have that, and they work hard to get it. Every time I hear that term, I say, and what is happening is that we are believing it now. Who work hard, that is why they have what they have. Look, the drug susu was deemed a security, the national security threat. Not one crime the man has committed. Not even jaywalk. But yet he was deemed the security threat of the nation. He had to import people to investigate him because of the liberation of African people where finance is concerned. The banks and the Syrian community wasn't having it. And they destroy him. Trying the best to see how much they can destroy him. But we just seeing it and knowing it and what could be done about it. Look, even with what you were just talking about there with Flow, I have the cable there with Flow and channels just disappearing. When you talk to them, I have to get some caller number and then be with the remote in hand, and they will direct me and tell me, that is not for me to do. I am paying you all for a service. When I got the service, it had all the channels on it, but everything a helter-skelter and any kind of old how, and we just have to accept it. But nonetheless, can I endorse all what the first caller said? All of what he said. Kafra Kambon and these people did their work and still doing their work. And it pains me when I hear people come out and just wash them out on them. A set of Johnny-come-latelys who don't know anything, who wasn't there toiling with these people, coming and saying all sorts of things and disrespecting the man and his movement and everything. That to me is totally, totally wrong. And we continuing to do it. Anyways. But it was lovely there on Saturday And my brother, you missed a really, really nice time. But more is coming up, as we have heard. I thank you so very much. Okie doke.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting problems. Hearing some of the calls that come through. But I did hear what you said. And yeah, thank you very, very much for that. All right, 3420081 and 4665391. Let's go back to the phones. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
Right. I'm hearing you. Good morning. Yes, sir. I'm good, thanks.
Good morning to you, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank God for that. We are in the land of the living.
That's right.
And we are all brothers. We might have different views, but we are all of one race.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can, because I hear we plumbing the government. And let me see if I can answer. But hold on a second. Don't jump. I'm not referring to you. I'm referring to the African government in helping African people. That was the logistics of the argument or the discussion this morning.
So are you calling in to say what, that they do?
No, I'm calling to say that we don't. And let me outline how we don't. Because I saw a group of people told me that we are going to create a supermarket. And that is our problem in Trinidad. We had 1 decade of decade of the Africans. Not so? Has it gone?
No, we're still in the middle of it.
And it's been 10 years. And our population of black people and all the people in this country talk about black people. I have not seen anything, and our 10 years is about to end now soon. I have not seen no black organization in this little country of ours put on something to commend that 10 years and outline what is African in Trinidad and Tobago. So we go back to Ram K. Palani and ask yourself why Ram K. Palani was able to do what he was able to do. You know why? Because he had the money and he had the backings of people to lobby for him. Every person that you called this morning had a group of people to go towards whatever government was in power to lobby for them.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You are completely missing the point. It's not the first time, I have to say, but no, we're not talking about. Hold on a second. We're not talking about how Ram Kirpalani got his money or who lobbied for him. No, that's nowhere near what this discussion was about.
He left owing.
No, right. The conversation was about how so many mega non-African businessmen, Ram Kirpalani, Lucky Samaru, Dale Kohler Singh, etc., were forgiven to the tune of millions of dollars.
This is where I'm going, Brother Mohammed. So
but you can't take all that. And the point about you don't know any African organization that did anything for the decade for people of African descent. Well, I apologize. Maybe I haven't spoken about it enough. But have you ever been to the Kwame Ture Center?
This is the point I'm making, sir.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, sir.
Sorry?
No.
All right.
Sir.
Right. I am not surprised at all. Because if you had ever set foot in that building, you would have been exposed to
I am talking to one man who have. But you cannot tell me of all the other African institutions that we have here, besides you can't tell me of another one. That is the point I am making.
But that is, whose responsibility is it? Because remember, this is linked to United Nations. It
comes down to my community, Brother Mohammed.
But this is a United Nations issue. Who represents Trinidad and Tobago at the United Nations?
I am not going there.
But it's a United Nations decade for people of African descent.
If you allow me, would understand.
For me, it's not a decade for people of African descent. For me, it's a lifetime for people of African descent.
You come here to speak to black people for us to open up our eyes. Not so?
Right. So please don't try to close our minds.
Exactly. So my point to you is, besides you, all the talk that you're talking for 10 years, I have not seen any black institution come out and say we are celebrating 10 years of the Black History Month, and we are celebrating that in Trinidad, and we are putting up what is considered black in Trinidad and Tobago, Carnival, Kaiso. We representing, we putting, let the young people who don't know about Winston Spree-Simon, the man who invented the instrument in 20th century. That is not happening here.
There's several groups that are doing these things. Several.
I am not disputing that. I am saying I have not seen a group besides yours that come out and say, you see, tomorrow, please God, is Black History Month for Afro-Trinbagonians, and we are going to celebrate this, and we're going to have this Calypsonian, this man to tell you about Pan. I have not seen that.
Well, you haven't seen it. That doesn't mean that it's not there. There are several groups and individuals who are committed to sharing that kind of information.
On a large scale, to involve all of us, that is not happening.
Okay.
On a larger scale, to involve all of us or half of us, to make my son, who is 14 years old, if I don't teach him that, I can't send him nowhere else besides your institution, more or less, or maybe one or two others, to actually learn that. And that is our, you see, all these people you talk about, they had a mission. Our problem in Trinidad and Tobago, we look at everybody else, but we don't come together as an institution. A man tell me put $100 today, and I was telling Pastor Google that we're asking about supermarkets across the Caribbean Bridge, and I told them the reason for, and this has nothing to do with race. This has to do with businessmen of one particular race. In my community, I know a man in Parsley Street. The first black man I know with a RX and a white lady had a business at a supermarket in Parsley Street. Today, he is saving nuts, men who sell nuts. Most of the people who sell nuts in Trinidad and Tobago are African descent. That man is saving them today. Because long ago, we had to go and buy nuts by one group of people and had to go somewhere else and bake it. And if the nuts price go up across the Caribbean Bridge, and the man who go in and buy it, they come back in sour, the price of the nuts for the nuts man go up.
Right, EGODs.
One man in Trinidad and Tobago, one black man is helping, and that is the point. Unless I see a group of businessmen on my side import a 40-foot containers of potatoes, a 40-foot containers of onion, we ain't going no way, Brother Mohammed.
All right, okay. Well, we have to support each other, though, huh?
And that is our problem.
Right. Okay. So we agree on that. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Caller, are you there?
Yeah. Hello. Good morning, brother.
Caller?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Not clearly there.
No, I'm not hearing you clearly at all, but I understand that.
Yeah, but I hear myself.
Right. So you go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Right. What the 2 cents I want to proceed to this issue is that, you know, what happened is that we just face a battle.
Caller? All right, I'm not hearing you at all. So let me ask, please use the 342-0081 line. Okay, 342-0081. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, David Orman again. I was listening to the caller before this one speak about business and African. I have a small business running. I will tell you the name of the business. It's named John Services. And before this lockdown with this pandemic and all this, a couple of years ago, I will tell which part of the office is. Upstairs, Pennywise Arena. And I went upstairs there to register my business on 3 different occasions and 3 different days. And every time I go, these people, they have a lot of race in this country, will tell me things like, your business cannot register because something is wrong with the name. All right, I do some slight changes on it and all that. I go back again, they said, no, it cannot work still. It have people with the name close to yours. I say, what? I go back until I get fed up and I never go back. That does not stop me from getting jobs. I just, my business carries sometimes between 4 to 5 to 6 workers, and myself make 7. I get jobs. My business, what I do, I can do foundation, I can do fence wall, I can do steel roof, I can do plastering, I can do tiling, I can do decking, I can do all these things, right? The point is, what a business of people say is this guy called it before the one hung up there and said, is that about race? It have race in this country to keep down African people in certain areas and certain places. It mightn't be notable. It mightn't be notable for what the government to see, because the government sit down in office to put people who come with a qualification to do a job. They don't know what goes on in their head. Yes, they look nice. They have good qualification. They have a high office. Find out what's going on in their mind. They cannot do that. But I'll be hoping for them to do the job. You understand? So I will not blame the government for this. We have people going into government office working with their agenda towards African people, just like in the banks. You understand? Let me go in the bank with $5 million now. They treat me real good. You understand? But small people, as I said before, with the same thing with the shooting in law, you understand? They, you understand, will fight on that black man. Because why? They are losing interest. They are losing customers. They are losing black people money coming into the bank. It's pooling somewhere. African people was pooling the money together with this Susu in Africa. Why any black organization, any black government will try to stop that? You understand? And my problem is this, I keep saying this, if you're not in the interest of black people as a black leader, you don't like them. And I've been saying that for the longest while. Listen, I vote must be about 4 times for the PNM. I never vote for no other party. I stopped voting since in Manning time. Because what I see they are doing to black people in this country, and people not seeing that, all them studying is just jump up on this ban because they will be getting 10 days and they get a CPAP contract or they get a work. They will get a work to work in some government office and them seeing the PNM as a god or some kind of thing. PNM in this session, and I'm not talking about in this session now, the first Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, because he was in love with black people. Manning had certain love for black people. But you see, this batch of politicians coming down from about, let me say, the past 15 years or 10 years, they're not in the interest of black people. And if people around them cannot see that, but then they are really truly is blind. Because they're full in their pocket. They have a job. They see this government as good. Yeah, they're good. I don't hate black people. I don't hate the government because they are black. I don't like the way black leaders these days treat black people. When they're in a position and they see black people is reaching out to help themselves, you put things in place to make sure that this is being successful. Like the Susu in Lokita. Why mash it up if it's working for us?
Yeah, like I said, that was one of the saddest days in our country when government came out against an effort like that. But thanks a lot for calling. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, brother David. So there.
Okay, so I think I should have said call 466-5391 because this line I'm not hearing. All right,
yeah,
so callers trying to call in, please call 466-5391. But go ahead though.
Yeah, brother David, you see, I listen like this last caller day. But you know what? I just always talk about cause and effect. You see, people having a problem with how things are going in the world with black people. But Brother David, it's because black people was in slavery. When we get freedom from slavery, we lost we identity totally. We lost we language, every idea about ourselves. You see, we have to come forward to the origin of humanity, and then we will know ourselves. Then the other races, and then when we magnify that, you see, it's like reclaiming we stolen legacy. And then when we do that to the world, you see the leaders and them is just coming out of the same unconscious state, right? Happen to get education, as everybody else, people like power and fame, and that is all they really know. So the people who running the earth, here in a secret organization. They manipulate us without we even knowing, right? So we now just keep blaming one another. Every black prime minister who go there, unless they conscious to the purpose of human existence, the original humanity, and the people who run in the earth, who have all we ancient Egyptian and African knowledge, and running the earth with it. We have to come back into that realm, that state of consciousness to know these things. Otherwise, we will be out of global affairs. You see, we're living in captivity in ancient Babylon, fool us, and we live in deceit. And instead of looking to conquer the earth, get back our authority as gods of the earth, we're looking to get a little place in ancient Babylon. We're looking to get us, like we in jail, but we're looking to get a corner of the jail for ourselves. We had to break the door and come out the jail, right? We in mental jail. We in a mental jail, Brother David. We have to know consciously are tired of black people crying out, and they can't solve the problem.
Yeah, thanks so much, Soldier Ann's very, very powerful point. Caller, good morning.
Morning again, brother.
Yes, you're right. Hearing you clearly now.
Right, yeah. Sorry about that.
Right, and you called 4665391.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Right, you know me, right? I always lamenting our inability to identify when something is being done by our leaders, the elevators, and we fail to identify what it looks like when it is going to be prevented and how it is prevented, Brother David. Time and again, we have leaders that have elevated. Good morning to Mr. Patrick Manning. You are still in the universe. When I remember the all-out attack on this brother.
Yeah, his legacy lives on.
Say again?
His legacy lives on through the education that young people are receiving.
Yeah, but must it always be taken away from us for us to get the objectivity that we need at this point in time right now? And now I know a lot of people. I want to point to the Point Fortune Highway where it was commended that smaller contractors got, they are doing a very good job in terms of the shift of the paradigm and in terms of how things are going. But these things are not highlighted.
Yeah.
And and it is disappointing to me because when the change comes, up comes, I just call them the regressors. I just call them the reptilians. The people that have no good intent to you to continue lambast a leader that will try to shift the paradigm. But if we think things just happen as fast as we write or as fast as we read, and we don't get into the minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour, day-to-day processes that it will take to make the turnaround. And I find too many times, black people, I am listening to some conversations of some black people on the ground here, and I am like, are you people for real? Are you all not assimilating and assessing what it is really taking place and how it looks and what it looks like, and the fact that okay, there is no enhancement of the leadership that they have and the ability to crack the code, because they cannot outright come out and say, I am going to assist black people in their elevation. The UNC will go mad, and everybody who don't like the elevation of black people will start to infiltrate through the media to make you believe that this person is not for you. And in closing, I would just like to say good morning to the lady with the no hands that was elevated to the bar. All I am saying is that we have to stop wasting time, develop ourselves, develop our education as you are doing, Brother David, and we have to infiltrate the system and pull up one another when we infiltrate the system through an educated, collective society. We cannot do it with the gun finger fellas. We have to educate, infiltrate, and then we will get the control that we need. Thank you, Brother David, for allowing me.
Thank you. Very well said. And you used the word there that we have no idea how important that word is. Trust me. That word infiltrate, it's something that has been done to us all the time. But it's not something that we do enough of. But I'm glad you raised that. The whole FBI and the CIA published documents after documents about infiltrating our organizations, spying on people like Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Kwame Ture, Dr. Martin Luther King. But we never invested the same in infiltrating the enemy. Let me emphasize once again, please use the 466-5391 number. But caller, go ahead.
Morning, Brother David.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning. I thank God I got in this morning. Just put on the radio and I heard the caller, two callers before that last caller. I mean, when I hear Patrick Manning name calls and people say, oh, and he was, I say, really? They praising Patrick Man like you did get praised when you're dead and gone.
Well, that's the norm.
Well, I mean, come on, Patrick Manning, all you're calling and talking about, Patrick Manning did, I just always say, Narikele Motor Patrick Manning, because I know if wasn't for Patrick Manning, my first son would have never seen the doors of a university.
Right, and a lot of our people can say that.
Well, I say it publicly. I put it on Facebook every time they talk about Patrick Manning. I dispose that. I also praise Dr. Anna, and you see, we don't educate with your own. I never forgot when my son passed his he sat the last common entrance, and he passed his first choice in Mary's College, and I spoke to him, and you know what I said to him? I say, you got to thank Dr. Eric Williams for this. You know what he said to me? Mommy, but as I study and as I said, no. You see, we have to educate them. And a lot of our children don't know we history because we ain't telling them. He tell me, but mommy, as I study and sit my exam and pass, I said, no. I said, let me tell you, because my mother, I had to thank my mother. My mother said to me, in the early 60s, African people, children could not see the doors of CIC, QRC, Convent, and them schools. She said it was for the rich. She said, black people, children used to go there. Maybe your father might have been a doctor or lawyer, maybe.
And scholarships. Scholarships.
What is that, David?
No, scholarships, like for exhibition.
Yes, those people who would have had the money would have been able to go. And Dr. Eric Williams, when he come into power, he changed that. And he bring the common entrance and children from the Beaton, Povey Road, wherever you're living in any area, once you pass that exam, you could go into... I remember I coming down in my car one day and a lady in my car, and we saw a boy walking by Silas there by the lighthouse in a Fatima uniform, and hear her response, children from around here, let's go Fatima. I said, what happened? I said, so they have rain? I said, so if they said the exam and pass for Fatima, because they address a Silas, I hear people, they say, and you have to give a different address, whatever. Anyway, I said, if he passed the exam for there, why he can't go there? Look, Shoma Wilson's son, and that is like how Shoma Wilson's son, Kerry Marcel, talks about it. He come out of the belly of the beast.
Right.
And he rise like a phoenix out of the fire. And he did well. Now he's an attorney at law. So when I hear people talking as I say, I told my son, I say, you could have been bright as a bulb. You could have get the highest in that common entrance. I say, and a black boy, I say, you wasn't seeing the doors of St. Mary's College. I said, so don't talk about, yes, you passed the exam. I said, but Dr. Eric Williams made it possible. He made it possible. So you have to give him praise. And when he went to Mona, Jamaica, I said, Patrick Manning. I said, because before it was dollar for dollar. And
Yeah.
this public servant didn't have, if it was 300,000, I didn't have 150,000. I say Patrick Manning made it possible for you to enter the doors of Mona, Jamaica. I say, so you're giving the two of them praise. You're giving the Almighty God first for giving you the knowledge, and with the knowledge, they made it possible. I say, so don't talk about, oh, I passed my exam. Educate all your children. Let them know the history. And don't make them feel, and I passed, and I didn't know you could pass, and you could never see the doors of CIC. And before I go, David, I want to say, I heard the guy talk about, and they don't like black people. You see that narrative with they don't like black people talk, and they hate to hear it. You know why? Because black people, like, they don't like themselves. Because up there yesterday, I talking with a friend about the Black Caucus. I say, girl, every time I go in Price Mart, it is bother me. Every time I drive up the highway and I watch that empty land where we should have a grocery, what you will call it, a warehouse where we could have gone purchase in bulk like how we go in Price Mart. I say, and it didn't materialize. And who mash it up? A black man like ourselves. We shouldn't be going Price Mart all now. Price Mart should be losing. Price Mart should be telling you you have to pay for membership. Yeah? But because of what went on, there is no Black Caucus. It is pay me because I was prepared to spend my money when this Black Caucus thing talk came up. And it is hurt me as a black woman to know I'm still going by Price Mart. But somebody should be able to do it. Right? David Muhammad, this thing is not easy. You know what I practice? Economic racialism when I go to shop. Market, wherever it is, look for a black vendor like myself in the market. I don't care who vex and talk about, oh, you're talking race. Because African people is the only people that like to talk, don't talk race. But them could be spelling doubles and tell it they on Facebook last year. I mean, after that election 2020, they jump out. Put faces in the doubles, and African people lining up still. And I just tell people every day, if you say they want to get rid of some African people, all that to do is give them doubles, because we love doubles. Look at this. You saw that TV, I think it was CNC3 showed it. The line outside of a roti shop until.
Yeah.
What you said? Yes.
Every Diwali.
I know, but David, I said to a friend, I say, you know, well, I don't know if it's due to but before the COVID, I haven't seen, because they used to show it. Sign roti shop, this one, and you see them lining up and they quarreling. Oh God, salallah here, and I say, wait, I'm an African person. I must eat roti when it's Diwali. I cook a pilau or this cook provision like a sand coach. No, the African people out there for the roti. All your cook, all your thing. My mother was a boss roti maker and she was of African descent. But she born in Pinal and she see how they used to do it. And she said once you could knead flour, you could make roti. If the dalpuri is the one that have more work and you want to go and grind the peas, you could make bus up shot. Because bus up shot is flour and she used to say she don't like the bus up shot, that is flour and grease. But you could make it. Once you, and David, the people, let me tell you, I sure you know the popular roti shop down in the valley down here. Dons. It's two African women have them licking their finger onto George Umbala Joseph, they licking the paper. It's two African women. They make them roti there. But
no, well, let me say this, huh?
Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, the best, and I'm saying this with no fear of contradiction. The best roti shop in Trinidad is owned by an African sister. Her name is Pinky. It's on the back road in Old St. Joseph Road, Laventille.
Oh, really?
Same street with the Kwame Ture Center.
Yes.
When you drive past, straight down, close to the end. Close
to the end.
Yeah.
Before you turn off back to Fernandez.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, I will find her.
Tell her that I sent you.
Come to Elandel. I'm going to find her. Because I like to support my people. David, and before go is twice I come to this farmer's market there by y'all, and it ain't had any. I willing to, I tell the guy, well, I know they had the African, so y'all had the African Expo last week, so y'all kept it on a Saturday. But I told him, I said, I came, and Roxanne met me. I came, and she told me the farmers ain't reached yet. Could you tell me what is the best time to come? Because I came early feeling well.
No. They normally come out from 11 o'clock.
Oh, that is what Roxanne really told me. But I thinking like the farmers market that they have down here, didn't have that called it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So
it's
anytime after 11.
Yeah. Now remember, we have Juma at the Kwame Ture Center from 1 to 2.
Oh,
so normally,
1.
Yeah. So normally, like afterwards, most of the purchases will take place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every Friday we buy our produce from right there.
Okay. So
yeah, you can just drive in, get the stuff, and drive out.
Then.
Yeah, and also for the African Expo, we normally have produce as well.
Oh. So, well, when I came last week, it was just a lady to the front as I drove in,
Yeah.
You know? Well, I realized all the other space was taken up with the African Expo stuff.
Yeah.
But I purchased food because I couldn't just drive back out.
Right.
I purchased food from the guy. It was a man and his daughter. And I must say to him, it tastes very good.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I still contributed in a way because I came to purchase market stuff.
Right.
And then, well, only that lady was there. So I bought food from the brother, and I say, it tastes great. We must support each other. Have a good day, David.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And at the African Expos at the Kwame Ture Center, we normally have a setup by Mama's Ice Cream, and they have a series of flavors where they use charcoal. Right, so of course charcoal is a cleanser and so on, but they have a number of flavors with the coconut and also with the charcoal. They have one in particular called coconut ash, which is charcoal and coconut, and the taste is incredible. They also have the ginger pumpkin, ginger coconut, charcoal. It's just on another level. All black owned. Many of the food products. There was a Dashin ice cream as well that one of the sisters made. Things like kurma with Dashin, cassava, yam, delicacies. So the level of creativity. There's Karaili sticks. Imagine that. Karaili sticks preserved. Some really great stuff. A sister named Sister Sandra makes those. But some really, really, really great stuff. All right. Time is ticking. Clock is about to be on. Call, are you there?
Yes, I'm ready. Listen to all the contributions.
Yes, sir.
We speak about individual achievement, but it's time for us to be collective now.
Exactly.
What we are witnessing, just as they're saying, all the other people and them, they have their business running. Only we alone who have no business, and as a share, we are the consumers, and we are the poor are the quarry of the rich. Because as a share, we consume everything that they send for us, and our own thing we don't want to consume. Our own thing we don't want to support. But it's time for us to open our eyes and start supporting our business. Let us think collectively instead of individually. Thank you very much, Brother David.
Now we're talking. Understand that this is the kind of conversation that we need to have. There are those among us, and it's part of the poison that our enemies have placed in our spirit. But we cannot, every time we have the opportunity to have a conversation, go back into our past and bring up something negative and then use whatever was said that was negative as the standard bearing template for who and what we are today. That is a self-defeating, negative, self-destructive spirit that our enemies beat into us, to dislike one another, work against each other, contributing the demise of our efforts. That's something we have to cleanse and purify ourselves from. All right. Caller, good morning.
Good
The
morning,
clock is
Brother
on.
David.
Yes.
A good example is Patriotic Energies and Technologies Company Limited. They have the infrastructure in place to operationalize refinery, and the Prime Minister and other cabinet ministers support it. Rather get foreign people outside to come and run what we could run. And this belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And when Patriotic and the company stabilizes, being owners of the oil refinery, they to open it up to the credit unions. So grassroots people can have assets inside here, right? Shareholders and all that, and unions and all of that. So I mean, why not give them the opportunity? This is Trinidad and Tobago, and if Dr. Ravi is a super leader, he should be saying that, right? So I hope that Patriotic could become owners of the oil point of oil refinery. The Prime Minister could have a change of heart and think about the people. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. Good point, important point. So, beloved family, this is where I leave it for this morning. I'll be back on next week, Saturday, for the Black Agenda. But remember, you can catch me on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock on Gael, live, with repeats on Tuesday evenings at 8 and Wednesday mornings at 9. And also, you can catch me live on Facebook on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. My Wednesday night live is also carried by a radio station in Philadelphia, Time for an Awakening, and other places. So let's stay in touch, let's stay in tune. May Allah continue to bless you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.